Grand Finals Game 3.
What will Newbee bring to this draft? We've seen Team Liquid be so impossible to draft against. And once again, it's Nature's Prophet, Io, banned from Newbee, straight up picking into Earthshaker.
I actually steal the Venomancer this time, going to the Rasta as well, so it's quite a different approach from the other games.
Yeah, I see.
I like it. Is the Coddle coming though? The Coddle's out.
They tried the Call and Shaker the other game, which didn't really work out for them when Mind Control was playing the Shaker, so they might still do it, I guess, but...
Yeah, I think Liquid's momentum that they managed to build up this tournament pretty much allows them to do whatever they feel like. I don't think it's as easy to call. Like, they're not going to go back to some comfort picks. I mean, they can go for the Coddle, but they might be more likely... Like, I think they're very likely thinking about a lot of heroes right now. I think they feel so confident. They're throwing out all their ideas. Like, right now, they might be too hungry for the win, but they're definitely like looking at everything they can do, or a lot of things that they can do.
Yeah, they have a lot of choices here. I mean, they choose the hero that's going to set them up for the whole strategy right now. It could be anything, really.
Yeah.
The Venomancer is a quite good pick against Shaker, though, to be able to cancel his daggers throughout the whole game with Venom wards.
The double ward strat, it's also something.
Yeah.
The more wards you had, the more pressure.
Wards you have.
It is. I mean, it's a concept. It's like when you have so much in front of you, you can't deal with it.
So you need Pug now, and then you have a Tombstone.
Yes.
Kind of like add. It's not exactly ward, right?
It's a big ward.
It's a
thick ward.
It's kind of interesting to see Newbee saying, well, you seem to have a good sense of what heroes to pick. Let's go ahead and pick some of those. Captain Kuroki trying to guide Team Newbee.
Liquid's taking a sweet time, though.
It's like, how do we counter Venomancer?
Yeah. I mean, Venom is an interesting hero. All right, let's see what we got here. Lich, all right.
All right.
Very non-committal.
So, yeah, that keeps things open in a lot of ways. It gives them a lot of laning possibilities. Lich Shaker is very good together.
I think they're thinking Lich Armor a lot for the tower, too.
Right, that's something as well.
I think they want to get Morph as well, because Morph is one of the heroes that are very good against Venomancer to be able to kill the Venom wards, and as well as to get away from him.
Maybe they wouldn't feel like banning a Newbee, that they have a Hex. I know most of the Chinese, they love having their Hexes against Morphs, not just for the Replicate, but for the hero itself and all these elusive heroes. But no, definitely, I see the Morph.
It is. I actually called it. Honestly, there are so many possibilities for Liquid. I feel like it's so many years. Although there's something to look at, that it's Kuro playing the Lich, right? So it's unlikely they will Dazzle or Oracle into a Huskar. So that's something you have to consider. Alk is still out there.
I've seen the GH Dazzle. Was that a success or a failure?
GH Dazzle, actually.
I think I've seen it. Maybe I'm wrong. Axe out. Okay, so they might be thinking about one of these joggers. Or Troll Warlords again. They've been running some Troll Warlords this tournament, and Axe is a pretty good hero against them.
It's also a hero Newbee had success with getting into the Grand Finals. They played this Axe.
So one game only?
Work. I think it was 2 games. Actually.
Okay, well, really? 2 games of Axe?
Yeah, I believe so.
I didn't manage to catch the series.
Well, there's also a problem for Lich. Even though the armor is very good for the towers against Rasta and Veno, he also doesn't enjoy being pushed over by these heroes early. The
Alchemist gets out right away.
Tide ban. Okay, Liquid. I mean, they kind of know what they want already. You can tell by the way they're banning. Like, they have this one thing in mind that they haven't stopped. I don't really like the Alk ban necessarily, because I do think they have a fast lineup that could have played against it, and I mean, it does show fear. But more importantly, I think this Axe ban doesn't suggest Alk. Like, this Axe ban suggests something else. Alk
Brood?
Is,
yeah.
Brood maybe.
Brood.
It opens up like both Tide and Axe are very good against Brood, and now like they actually let Brood through because they have to ban this Morph and
maybe they're thinking
Alchemist.
about it.
Yeah, and now they kind of prepare for it with the Sanking to be able to kill the Spirings.
So do you think this is going to be a Moogie Veno, or?
I'm gonna say if they're keeping it open, it's gonna be probably SEC or Moogie playing that. And I think this is just gonna be dual support. I mean, Kaka obviously amazing Sanking. I wouldn't be surprised, but it does look like they are setting up for a Broodmother. Seeing these 2 heroes, they actually suffer a lot. Sanking is a little better, of course, but it would give them such a laning possibility that it will be very hard for Newbee to answer.
I do think it might be hard to pick the Brood on 3rd pick, though.
No.
I think you want to wait one more. As Liquid, they like to run this Brood against just a really good mid. That's if the supports are fine against Brood, I think they will still pick it. I mean, I've seen what they do with this Broodmother mid to these poor invokers. Like, it's
scary.
It's miserable.
It's a very good way to make the opponents like have to trade the lanes into bad lanes, like Invoker's safe lane or something that you really don't want to have.
This is where Mind Control will shine.
We've seen Huskar picked up a lot by Team Liquid. Do you think there's any possibility of an Oracle Huskar setup?
definitely, but like Tal said, it's likely it's Kuro Lich.
Yeah. Darks here.
So this is going to be GH Shaker. Oh, although
In theory, they could play the mid shaker
They could play-
or Miracle. So, I mean, Darks here, yeah, that's good. It's good on the lane against Veno. I mean, overall, it gives them a lot of teamfight possibilities. Imagine this back into Shaker, into Lich ulti.
Liquid is kind of changing their playstyle right now. If we look at the other games, when Mind Control has been playing Prophet, and I can't remember where did he play the last game.
what was it
Ven-
before that? Veno?
Yeah,
Veno, yeah.
Yeah, when like these heroes like, actually makes a lot of space. Darkseer does it in a way because he pushes in lanes, but he's more team fight oriented than the
Team fight
other heroes.
oriented, and there's a thing, people can say that Veno can lane against Darkseer because he can without losing tower and maybe even bully Darkseer a little bit, but I think Liquid, they like playing around this surge and this team fight that comes with it. And that particularly counters Veno and even Hex.
Yeah, and not to mention also, he's a very good pipe and mech builder, which does a lot of annoying things for Venomancer. I like it a lot, though. I think they have a good idea going into this draft, Liquid. Like, they have a lot of possibilities right now.
I see these heroes with Iron Shell, Surge, Snakes, like these heroes are running away for a long time, you know, and this creates openings for all these Shakers and Liches to do their thing. Oh, that's a good pick, I think. Oh, I like that pick a lot.
Talk to me about it. What is it that's so great about Centaur War Runner?
Because we were just talking about how they might be running in with some Nakes, or I just mentioned, this ultimate matches your movement speed through a surge, you know, so you're equally like running around the fight, and then you have another chance to take the fight the way you want it.
And this sort of implies that Shadow Shaman is going to be the position 5, Sand King 4, the Centaur likely to be the off lane, and it appears Venomancer is probably going to be mid or safe lane.
Mid or safe lane, that's what they're keeping open, I imagine. I don't think they want to run some safe lane Centaur. Game 3 TF
Is there
finals.
Is there some anti-mage possibilities here? I think it's a pretty good game for AM.
Looking historically, Team Liquid likes to run Darkseer with super hard carry that can do a lot of farming.
Yeah, I mean, they usually run the core with, I mean, they run Darkseer with Slardar, but Shaker might just fulfill that role instead. I could see an AM game.
Isn't Nakes too good though?
Necro.
I mean,
Alright.
okay, so they just take another one, they're heroes.
Yeah, I mean, this just, it basically sets them up for a great laning phase, because Lich actually has the freedom to do whatever he wants here. He doesn't have to go on the Darkseer lane, he doesn't actually have to go on the Necro lane. So what they can do is actually they can tri-lane middle against whatever SEC is going to be playing, whether it's Ven or it's some other hero.
They're going to use all their reserve time on this ban.
Yeah.
They're banning the Miracle hero on last.
That's probably going to be somewhat of a hard carry, or active hero at least.
Yeah, are we thinking something like Alchemist again, or Anti-Mage for Team Liquid?
I mean, Alk is out. There's the Anti-Mage,
Oh, of course, yes, that was
Um,
one of the first ones.
I don't necessarily think Anti-Mage enjoys playing against Centaur, like on the lane especially, and I do think if you okay, they ban it anyways, so not much point.
What
I mean,
about the troll? Is he banned?
Yeah, I like
is
Troll for Liquid, because
banned the
if you look
actual
at it, what they're missing right now is a way to take objectives, and Troll would give them that, like someone to kill towers, Roche, whatever, because you need that in the game. And meanwhile, for Newbee, you have Veno and Rasta, so you have everything covered, right?
Yeah, what do you think is actually missing for Newbee? What do they want to fill in on the powerful last pick?
But they have the last pick, right? So they get to see, and we could assume, I guess, there's going to be some Troll-like hero. I think it's likely there's some carry.
I can see the Troll.
They're gonna let win the game, and he needs to be able to take Roche.
Invoker is the ban.
All right.
I suggest the Necro's mid. Like, Necro is not the best hero against Invoker, but it is a pretty good matchup for Necro. Maybe they're looking for a mid hero for a Miracle.
I like the Necro against Centaur a lot. I think they're
Yeah, they're
looking at
definitely
it.
looking at that.
I mean, the Troll has many good matchups middle, so I don't think they were too worried if they pick it, but we'll see what they do here.
Yeah, not much time left.
Seconds remaining.
Team Liquid only has 1 second of reserve time.
Newbee's turn to pick.
Juggernaut, right?
Oh, I like it.
That's a similar type of role that he fulfills, where he hits towers, he can carry, he gives you the objectives. It's another way to team fight, and it can be very good against Venomancer as well. The sustain that they have now between Darkseer, Necro, and Jugger actually completely destroys what Venomancer wants to do in the game.
Do you think that Jugger is going to be mid or safe?
That's the thing. I think they like it because the option's open. They can decide on this pick. So Newbee has an even harder time picking.
And I guess
their-
both Jugger and Necrophos
thing.
are quite good against the Centaur on the lane right. Jugger can kill him with the spin with some help, and Necrophos can sustain a lot.
I will say Centaur can be good against Jugger. It depends who gets the help.
Yeah.
But if they have this Lich Jugger against Centaur, then Centaur's going to be very sad.
So really dominant Centaur with early hood counters what Jugger wants to do in this lane, but I think it's Jugger favored overall.
All right, they're going to need some game-winning hero for Newbee. I mean, they have like pretty much everything covered. They have you know, some decent team fights, some way to take towers, objective, stuns, blah, blah, blah. But then you need a hero that actually wins you the game now.
But you also have to think, like, I don't think you can be happy with some poke-style kind of hero. We talked about their sustain. I see so much sustain. I think they need to close the gap with these stuns and, like, take the fight to them, like, force them to fight them back.
I mean, at this point, do you feel like even some of these hard carries that Newbee banned, maybe they wish they had available in the pool still?
That's, of course, another route if you have a really hard carry that...
I think that they want to pick a mini hero like Lina or something.
Shadow Fiend, maybe, I think. All right, Death Prophet.
Death Prophet for Newbee.
All right.
And it looks like Miracle will be running the Juggernaut, Matumba Man on the Necrophos, but we're still not sure what the lanes are going to pan out to be.
Neither is Newbee.
And they're going to need a lot of help in this game. Newbee currently down 0-2. If you are a Chinese fan, make some noise. If you are a Newbee fan, make some noise. Newbee needs it. Casters take it away for what could be the final game of TI7.
Liquid are literally drowning in sustain at the moment, coming into game 3, already 2 games up against Newbee. Newbee maybe with a little bit more of a fast-paced lineup, maybe some more energy behind them, had a good conversation between game 2 and game 3. Can they force a fourth?
Yeah, I think so. I think this lineup from Newbee, I said in the last game they were making the right adjustments. I think now they've taken it even another step in the right direction, even further. Now they forced mind control off of that Veno and the Nature's Prophet.
Yep.
The bans, again, I pretty much agree with what Newbee were doing in the first phase. And now their approach is, okay, last game we had the lanes, but we didn't push fast enough. So now we're going to have the lanes and the push this time. So they have Veno, Shaman, and Death Prophet to push out, and some pretty strong laners to go with it. Liquid's draft is a little bit different for them. The Darkseer they haven't had the most success with, and this Juggernaut pick is pretty uncommon at this main event, so...
Do you actually worry with the hero pickups they have? Like, we're not going to say Matumbaman's Necro is going to be a bad pickup for them, but a lot of it takes a lot of farm to get online. Like, how long do you take before you get the Rod of Atos? How long until you get the mech on the Darkseer? How long until Juggernaut has sustain outside of Death Pulse as well as Healing Ward? Like, when does he have his Manta or Diffusal? All these items, and you start to beg the question, how long will this take? And then you're up against a team that can add pressure with Plague Wards all the time. They have engage and disengage through the Centaur Stampede, Mass Serpent Wards, Exorcism, all these abilities to start lacquering on top for Newbee. Can they force the issue before Liquid is ready?
I think so. If the lanes go well for Newbee in this game, they have the tools to very quickly snowball this game out of control. Getting the Roshan, getting towers, plenty of ways of doing it. I think for Liquid, it's very crucial that they get to use the Ion Shell on Juggernaut in the earlier stages of the game for fights, because they, apart from that, they don't have that much they're bringing to the table. They have the Lich and Shaker, who are both, in each their ways, fairly slow build-up supports. Lich wins a lane, but still takes some time. Shaker as a roamer is pretty lackluster with specific heroes. I don't think he has that great synergy here. He's with a Darkseer that's like okay. The Necrophos mid he can't necessarily kill with, and then the Juggernaut is possible, but difficult, right? So I'm looking for Liquid's lineup to struggle to find kills early, and if Newbee can capitalize on that, finding their own and this time push and not face an Alchemist late in the draft, this time they can actually convert it into a win. I think this is Newbee's best draft for the finals. If they can't win this game, then Liquid is just hands down the better team today, like by quite a lot.
They do have the advantage in the laning phase and Vision while supporting it to get that early game you're talking about, avoiding the kills, the rotations of GH being effective. The 2 Observer Wards from Newbee focus on that hillside to the south of the bottom rune, and the other one smack bang in the middle lane. So Vision is covering the south as well as the mid. Earthshaker, he wants to rotate up towards top lane and try and kill off a Centaur. Warrunner, good luck, it's going to take you some time to do it. So they're feeling very secure in that lane. In fact, they're even going to run a double lane. Karka as well as KP are together, so they have a double stun lineup, which should be very, very effective against Miracle. They just have to keep Miracle away from the lanes, and Karka already doing it. Burrow Strike, Wolf Stomp, they're dropping the Juggernaut down to 1/3 of his life. If Karka can get this body block off as well, Miracle trying to create a little bit of space. Newbee, Miracle has to be forced into the spin. You got a secondary Burrow Strike. They can go under the tower, but they won't do it. Healing Sound plus Tango being burnt by Miracle. They'll stay safe under the tier 1.
Good initial pressure from Newbee on this lane.
Oh, wait,
Keep trying to connect up.
The fissure was raised, but not thrown.
There's no kill potential in this mid lane. SCC can't die to these 2 heroes. There is just absolutely no way unless he completely screws up somehow. So GH is just trying to do whatever little he can to just pressure SC and force him to use some regen. That fissure did pretty much nothing, and SC is having a good time here, forcing Matoma under his tower with this double wave. And now GH is like, okay, not really happening in mid. I'm going to move toward top.
Kaka.
And maybe there's an opportunity here. Good fissure.
With the frostbite and the last attack from Kuro, flying over the rock wall. First blood's built, very, very aggressive.
This is what I'm praising GH for so much. It's that game sense, you know, like he goes mid, just shows himself. Newbee are like, okay, Shaker's mid. He vanishes from mid, immediately goes for this play that is, the way I see it, his only kill on the map is this exact hero with this exact ally. It's very specific subset of things that need to happen, and Liquid set it up beautifully and get themselves first blood on the Lich. So Kuro getting some fast boots out, and we'll have plenty of money to take care of courier duty as well. It's another fissure mid from GH, has the Arcane Rune, might as well be a little bit annoying with that.
He actually holds the creep.
Bounty runes.
He holds the creep wave back far enough that Matoma doesn't even have it come on. Okay, now I'll come onto the tower, but that's a double wave for Death Prophet to try and farm up, which is a nice injection of CS and experience into him, unless GH wants to do something about it. But the Observer Ward from Newbee does scout it out, so even if this fissure does fly, you can see SCCC understands just how tanky he is and just how much of a hard time Newbee will have to, Liquid will have to kill him.
Yep. GH at the same time, recognizing that the bounty runes cannot have been picked up because all of Newbee's heroes have been showing, so he goes and takes the enemy bounty rune first. Now he can still go back toward his own. He has a full minute to do that. It's just going to fissure off Faith and be really annoying. Mind Control actually coming in here with a level 2 Ion Shell. Faith, there is a crevice to get through.
He just needs a little bit more movement
speed.
speed.
He's going to be fine.
330 versus the 295. Good for a Shaman to have those early boots to keep the run going. Still want to keep my eyes pretty closely on mid. I know it's mainly because we've had the Earthshaker rotating around, but this is the time when Kaka finally moves off the top lane. It is daytime, which makes it difficult for him to close the distance. There is no dire Observer Ward watching this mid lane. The GH is back. Faith is here as well. Everyone's prepping, apart from Kaka, who's just having a one-on-one battle with Kuro. But GH has to be careful of where he is. Faith comes up, the Observer Ward is there, knows what he's up against, and everyone's just going to run away. But this is a lot better start for Newbee when you look over it like, yeah, okay, you gave away first blood, but Mugi's getting really good farm, SCCC's getting really good farm in the mid lane, KP's finding experience on the off lane, so that Stampede arriving at an earlier time is great for Newbee to disengage from Team Liquid's aggression.
He's getting good CS as well on the Centaur. I think this hero can fall flat a lot of the time. I think it's really weak without any items. Like, there's a lot of other offlaners this patch that deal better with being put under pressure, but Centaur really needs like that Blink Dagger to start having an impact. And then you compare it over to the Darks here, where sure, if you don't have the mech, maybe it's not the best hero, but you can at least utilize your team with that Ion Shell. All Centaur really offers is the Stampede, which is nice, but it's an ultimate, so you know, then you're kind of a walking ulti at that point almost. It's a bit hard to get as much out of your hero. So it's very good news for Newbee that all three of their cores are getting good farm.
Kuro's trying to get that aggressive Observer and Sentry Ward down behind KP. Either that, they run in towards the mid. Faith able to reveal out Kuro and GH, both Frost Blast and the Fissure being committed. Faith taking negligible damage as Matubberman wants to go underneath the tower. Kuro does put the Observer Ward down. A quick ping came out from Shaman saying that he's around here.
He's trying to see if he can get eyes on Kuro and see that he used the ward, but he might just assume that was the case. See, there's no
He'll get vision now. He's walking underneath an Observer Ward. So yeah, they're pinging, and they pinged exactly the spot of that Observer Ward.
Essentially, it is a guess. Kuro could have also put it on the cliff to the left, but it seems like Newbee guessed right. Let's see when they get a sentry out for this ward. That ward is very good.
Probably one of the reasons too why they scanned. Like they scanned on top of the camps, just to the north of that point. So trying to work out if he ran over the top of the Ancients or not.
So fairly quiet.
They got Faith up here as well. They're looking at Miracle. Now, do they actually? They don't have the Hex. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Kuro, the Shackles available. Okay, now that Hex is up. Level 3, he was holding onto it. KP with a double edge. We Faith that takes the kill. So a good movement up from Newbee. They're going to support at exactly the same point they lost their support. Boogie's having the greatest time in the world on bottom. 21 denies and 33 last hits.
This is still a good Darkseer lane, though. Mind Control on this hero has had a really high impact in a lot of situations in a lot of games, and it fits very well into Liquid's playstyle of just being able to shove out lanes to get information. So the fact that Darkseer is getting this many levels and farm is, you know, it's still a farm Veno for sure, but Mind Control is definitely getting his.
Miracle, where's that follow-up? Have they got the stun? They do, so there's no spin available with Spirit Siphon. Miracle just has to tank the physical damage, which he cannot do. Great movement up from SCCC, and they can bring that Exorcism to bear on the Tier 1 tower on the top.
Definitely going to go for that here. Now that he made the whole rotation up there, they want to get some structure. Oogie.
Even trying to surge GH away from that fight. The Observer Ward from Newbee, seeing Kuro moving to the top, Kaka and KP, they've already set the strap, starting off with a double edge, but no, he attacked first with the Frost Armor, slowing up Kaka. He doesn't have the mana anyway, so he cannot get the Burrow Strike off, but is allowing SCCC to attack into the tower. So that's the more important thing, the creep skipping. But the TP arriving back, so Miracle back into the lane, stopping the tower from falling at least. But is KP, yeah, he cuts through the trees. Quelling Blade, he doesn't have Hoof Stop. They're so short on mana. At least they got the Burrow Strike back on Kaka, but no more creep wave under the tower, really.
They got a lot of damage into that tower. Liquid do defend it, but lost 1,000 health, and the trade-off is, I guess Matumba did some decent chip damage in mid, but Faith is getting good levels, and you look at this Newbee lineup and you feel like, okay, when they have all of these ultimates available and they have their key items, they will just start almost like Death Ball, kind of, with their heroes. They just really want to group up as 5 and take objectives. And the question is if Liquid will have the tools to deal with it in time. I'm pretty sure we're going to see the first Roshan from Newbee pretty early in the game, and if Liquid want to get it, they have to steal it. They can't take it themselves. It's very unrealistic with their lineup. GH is...
He's really close to Faith. Fresh Observer Ward down. He's got his own Observer Ward down as well, so Faith will hex him quickly. Shackles not available. In fact, he used the Ether Shock, so the mana isn't available. In fact, now with Moogie moving over, they have enough to slow through the Plague Ward. Gale's going to connect on his target, SCCC. They put the Plague Ward up on the hill, realize no one else is there from Team Liquid. But while that's going on, top lane, the spin from Miracle. He has the Omni Slash available, but the Burrow Strike from Kaka, holding Miracle in position. He'll go into the trees, taking a lot of damage from the tower. Has to have the Healing Ward to give him life. Kaka, Burrow Strike in 2 seconds time. He can go once more, but the Healing Ward's causing problems, but maybe not enough. He has the damage, does he? The Healing Ward protection's available with the spin on Miracle. He'll live and salve back up once more.
If KP had 100% faith in that perfect Sand King stun, I think they could have killed the Jugger together. Pretty sure he had double edge ready again, so Newbee, a little bit of a missed opportunity there, but still good for them to survive at the very least and get their Centaur out of trouble. And the lanes continuing with the pressure. Venomancer takes the bottom tier 1, top tier 1. Might be next on the menu for him. As Miracle,
right in, dodging that Hoof Stomp from KP Kaka. He doesn't have the mana for a Burrow Strike, and there was nothing he could do while Miracle was immune. But Matumba could do something else. He's ready to wrap around the back. The creep wave's coming under the tower.
Ah, the classic Necrophos dive.
Yeah, Reaper Scythe's available. What are you going to do, Matumba? You want to do damage to him? I suppose you can hide invisible. That's a great way to dodge it.
Works pretty well. You can still hit Death Pulse, but it would need to lose like 4 or 5 of them to kill off Kaka, and Kaka's just going to back off, get a clarity.
Boogie switching lanes through now. Feeling the pressure coming on the top lane. They'll fortify up. Faith moving up as well, so Team Liquid, they were hoping for a free tier 1 tower on this top lane. It ain't going to happen. Boogie's got his combination ready. And there's a lot of farm. In fact, the fact that Creep Wave is hitting that bottom tier 1 tower is warning bells for Team Liquid to back off the top lane.
I think we're going to look at the smoke here in a moment for Newbee. They're grouped up as 3 with the Poison Nova available as well for Moogie. Could try to look for a kill in this top area into that tier 1 tower. If they kill the Juggernaut here, for example, that tower is theirs for the taking. Meantime, though, it's slow here. There will be a stun coming in from Sand King.
Miracle has Omni Slash available, but he knows he doesn't want to do it when Sandstorm's available. That's not the way for him to find a kill.
Kaka just wants to push the wave out and get a ward out. He's sitting on 2 wards on the Sand King, but can't really use it. There's the Stampede, though, and this will be the kill.
The Shackles hold him there. That's a huge kill. Miracle to fall with Moogie already up. The tier 1 tower in the top lane is days are numbered.
I love plays like this where you can tell Newbee have already set up and coordinated and are ready and are just waiting.
Kaka
at 6.
They can set up on this one. Kaka Burrow Strike. He cannot survive, but Tumberman still having the range for the aura. Level 3 in it. Will kill off Kaka, but he doesn't get scythed to death at least. But a lot of pressure on top lane.
Defending their tower actually with this. They do have Mass Serpent wards. I think if they plop those down together with the the Plague Wards, they will be getting this tower, but
Faith's backing off. They're
Faith wants to go mid instead.
Yeah, they're switching their attack to work with SCCC, who's got the Exorcism available.
This might be a good idea. I mean, the top tower is pretty low, right? So it's a big ultimate commitment for such a low tower. This way, they make sure they have a 2-lane siege.
They're going to get a Burrow Strike around the back if possible. GH is looking to defend. But Kaka, there's your Mass Serpent Wars, Fisher to go out. Burrow Strike going to connect on that mid lane. Exorcism is out too. GH low on life, doesn't want to come closer, but it's Necrophos who's shackled up, taking a lot of damage from that Exorcism. Faith, no, he's going to die. No, Catapult bouncing off the Chain Frost. The Darkseer back wall, able to make a little bit more problems. Fissure is out, so Kaka being broken out of his Sandstorm and the Invis. SCCC wants to bring the damage in close, but with 3 heroes already rotated over from Team Liquid, it just ain't going to happen. The only thing which is happening for Newbee is that top tier 1 tower being claimed by Moogie.
This mid tower will get denied. So they got all 3 tier 1s at 12 minutes, just a very good timing, but not really too much of a gold lead to show for it. They've lost a couple of heroes. I think Kaka's dive there on the Shaker, very optimistic. Like, there's no real follow-up to it, so they couldn't really turn that Sanking stun into anything, and he ends up dying in the end, together with the Shaman. Liquid are just playing the small advantages that they do have in the moments to keep it a pretty even game. So they have a couple of towers to claim, which means Liquid are ahead on raw farm. There's more gold on the map for them in these towers. Let's see if they want to make a move of their own.
Well, they're coming to bottom lane, but KP's already out. TP'd very quickly away.
Yeah, the tower's gone.
Yeah, but if they pressure bottom lane, Moogie's already up on top to continue the pressure. You have Stampede available, so it kind of gives Newbee the confidence to go a little bit deeper than they normally would. And the fact they're doing that means they can potentially catch out GH. GH, the man who's found Blink Daggers at insane rates, now just has to run away. Sand King has that level 3 Burrow Strike. He does not have the range on GH just yet, but when GH holds behind the tower, the Observer Ward, it doesn't see him. He's in a small crevice. Now he comes out. Faith will see him. And well, no, they're not going to use it just yet. Necrophos starting his TP in. So Faith will just drag the wave down.
I actually thought Kaka had eyes on him earlier and they were going to stampede for it, but I guess he was just outside of the night vision range of Sand King. So no kill and Liquid defend. So buying more time for their lineup. They just need space and time to farm and get these towers. Juggernaut is doing a pretty good job here. Miracle finding some good farm. The Darkseer has been relatively quiet, but it will now be completing the next soon. And GH's Blink, you were talking about it, it's 900 away, but he can farm it pretty quickly with this Ion Shell help from Mind Control.
As long as he times the last hits, right?
Oh, he's letting Mind Control get some of the CS actually.
Okay, he'll take that. He'll take the last 2.
Yep.
But this is still a good position for Newbee too. Like we've been looking for something that gets them back into this series, and having real superb team fight from Newbee, which is an essential thing against Liquid's sustain. That's what it's all about. That's going to give us our clash. That's going to give us our clash we were really searching for.
Newbee need to get a Roche, I think. Get some wards out here, start putting that pressure. They have the Mass Serpent wards, they have the Exorcism. It's a lot of ulti commitments, but it would be a good move. Instead, they're going to turn it into a rotation toward top into tier 2. That's also a great high impact play if they can pull it off.
If they can kill Matumberman, he's the man looking to build a Radiance. Fate's just going to get close enough to get the Hex. Thanks to the Observer Ward they have behind, they see everything. Stampeding forward, Exorcism is down. It's a lot of damage KP has taken, but they'll still get the kill onto Matumberman. SCC once more. Kuro TP'd in to try and help out, but now he's trapped. Kaka, no Burrow Strike for another 2 seconds, but the Exorcism will do the work, and Kuro, Kaka even commits it to ensure it. So that's 2 kills up on the top lane, and now pressure to the tier 2 tower.
Looks like Liquid don't want to give up the tower though. They're going to send in Shaker and Darkseer to try and delay this push.
Well, Mass Serpent Wards it down. Liquid might think twice about it. At least Mind Control gives the buckler effect, but Kaka, Burrow Strike, he's looking at Mind Control, but knowing that GH has the fissure behind the lines is not what they want to go into. So they'll let the Mass Serpent Wars die, or maybe not. Miracle's coming in from the south. Burrow Strike up, Kaka actually dodging the vac, but he cannot dodge the spin of Miracle. He's also Iron Shell buffed up, double TP's out, SCCC, his TP's coming off cooldown in a second. He had to move one of his null talismans out of his backpack, and now starts it, but GH Echo slams it down. The silence, it needed to connect on the Earthshaker.
Yep. He tried to get the silence on both of them, on both the Jugger and Shaker, but GH was just out of range.
Difficult to do when you don't have that vision.
I think if he committed for a silence on Shaker, he might have lived. I'm not sure if Juggernaut had enough damage with Ion Shell and level 1 Omni Slash to actually even kill the DP out of the TP there, but good kills for Liquid. They defend their tower, and they play these small advantages. They had 2 dead heroes, and they still defended their tower and found exit kills, just using that Ion Shell and the rotating Juggernaut very well.
I'm still interested to see though, like when Newbee have that big strength. Like they're finding these exit kills, Newbee, Liquid are coming in force, understanding they can find them, because you haven't felt the effect of the Venomancer yet. Boogie continues to farm up, and he only really comes to join the fights when this tier 1 tower in the top lane is being threatened. And that's what they're doing. Observe wards on the hillside. Faith gonna move in close enough. They'll get the Hex, need to follow up Shackles. The fissure, nice from GH. Hops on Stampede from KP, trying to create space. Lich holding won't continue its bounce, however, but KP's on the wrong side of the tracks. Omni Slash, they have enough damage to get through Kaka, but Miracle trapped under the towers. KP still alive. He ran all the way up to the north, even has his Blinker Bubble and steals the bounty rune from Team Liquid. It's a call for a support. The top tower, it does fall in favor of Matumberman, who committed in. SEC's Spirit Siphon, not enough to dissuade him from the attempt.
Liquid were looking for a vacuum into Fissure combo there, and they got it off decently, but not fully. And the Stampede allowed them to disengage, get out. That looked really scary for Newbee. If they don't have Stampede there, they lose like 3 or 4 heroes. So a really key ability for them to have against this Liquid lineup. And it's very clear there. You can see what the idea behind the Centaur pick was.
Shaker has his Blink Dagger.
Yep.
They've got that initiation now onto GH.
If he had it in that fight, that would have been a stomp for Liquid. So
yep.
Newbee can't afford to get vacuumed like that again. If they get 2 or 3 hero backed into Shaker Echo, the fight's just lost.
Yep.
Gotta be really careful.
That's when they're gonna need the maneuverability. From both Stampede, the space creation from Centaur, the fact that Venomancer will soon have his full Hurricane Pike. You need a Yule Scepter for SCCC to stay alive, and that is coming out in the courier. In fact, both of those items are arriving on the courier. Maneuverability getting better. Interesting, the Faith is actually not helping him out with maneuverability. He's going straight for push lineup. He's going for the Aghanim Scepter rush on the Shaman after having just the Arcane Boots.
Kind of shows what the game plan is, right? Like you want the Shaman to hit a timing when they can just go to try and end the game. A lot of the time we see Shamans go for Staff Claimer or Blink. And all 3 items have their value in this game. It's just...
That's a nice rune. Double damage rune, but the bad thing is the Echo Slam catching out at SCCC. They're already using that Hurricane Pike to get him free from the Stampede. They'll turn around, Massive force it down too. They find the kill into the Earthshaker. Now Newbee want to roll with the momentum into Mind Control, who stands his ground, taking it for the team. Exorcism has been burnt, and there is a creep wave here to work with. But what Newbee want is something bigger. They want Roshan.
This is their good timing for this. 10 seconds on Shaker, 30 on the Darkseer. Don't think Liquid are in any position to contest this. This was the big moment we were waiting for Newbee, where they find the key kills close to that objective. And getting the full value out of Exorcism here. He's even going to heal up to full here. SCC did so much damage with the Ghosts that he's ready to go somewhere else. Roche will fall, and they'll probably give the Aegis to the Venomancer.
Yeah, it is on Boogie. GH has to be really sound. That was the first reveal of his Blink Dagger, and it didn't really come with the big impact they wanted. Miracle has still been able to find a lot of farm in the meantime, rapidly approaching his Manta style. But he's still behind in the net worth, only by 600. And that's to the Venomancer. Hurricane Pike, Aegis Immortal. What else? He hasn't have anything else coming out at the moment. He's just got those critical items.
The Pike made that fight, by the way. The Force Staff, or the Pike usage, immediately on the Death Prophet got him into a very good position where Newbee could counter-engage. Not sure, Liquid were probably not accounting for that play when GH jumped in. It's just like, okay, if we catch anyone, they don't have any save in their lineup. They have Stampede, which they can't use when they're stunned, but no, that little bit of Force Staff usage there really turned the tides for Newbee, giving them a big fight in a row. Gonna be looking for more of that from them. Still a very close game.
Yeah, that's actually the real first advantage that Newbee have gotten, just the fight straight out. So they go up in the gold, they go up in the experience, but you're still hovering around that 2K just above and below for experience and gold advantage in favor of Newbee. That's not really enough to say you have a victory over Team Liquid. In fact, even if you had 20K, you don't think you had a victory over Team Liquid.
That's a lot. If you're 20K ahead minute 22, that's generally a win.
That would be pretty big.
I don't know if I've ever seen a team come back from that. Well, you know, they're just 18K off, so if they get that in the next 30 seconds, then you're right. Looking forward to that play out of Newbee.
Thanks for your analysis, Nidrin. You're absolutely, you're a dear. Shaker ready to fight on bottom lane already. Newbee are feeling someone is down here. They're scanning inside their own jungle, waiting for the Liquid attack. This is where Moogie needs to get those Plague Wars down, get really good vision, which Liquid already have. That Observe Ward just to the south side of the tree line. They see the defense that Newbee have in position, even in this nighttime cycle.
This is actually something we didn't talk about at all about Liquid's lineup. I think this is the first lineup from Liquid we've seen today in all of their games where they don't have a single vision hero. And that is, to me, this TI has been more about vision than any other TI.
Oh, my
top lane.
Echo
Yep.
slam, Kaka.
That's what
Okay.
happens if you don't have vision, and you die.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on bottom,
Matumba?
got a little bit of a book reading club in the bottom of the map.
I'm sorry, book reading club, they're gonna be down here in a while. Maybe you can cut down the trees, make some paper, and write something interesting.
These two heroes would probably, they look like they spent a lot of years reading.
Well, Lich does come with his own book.
Yep. Well,
Look over my shoulder and read, Matumberman.
do you guys want to get out at some point?
I-
They both
I'm
have
not
TPs,
certain.
they're just standing there.
They're scanning. They don't see anything. Like, they have their observer ward near the tower, but they don't know where Venomancer and Shadow Shaman have left to. Like, if they wanted to, they could drop mass observer wards at the tier 2 tower on bottom.
They want to cut the wave. I thought they were just going to TP out, but saving the TP scroll so they have the ability to move around the map, and we'll just, Matumba feels safe now to walk up and take care of business here, get those creeps killed. Almost has the Radiance. It's a big item in this game for the Necrophos, just ramping up that farm, synergy with the Veil.
You know, the more and more I'm looking at this game, the more and more issues I see Team Liquid taking high ground. Like, you look at the build coming in from Mugi, gonna go in for the Maelstrom into Kolnya. Like, that is a lot
Kuro.
of bonus damage, a lot of push. Kuro, Mugi actually stopped attacking for half a second. It's the Crypt Swarm from SDC that will reach him.
They should drop the Serpent Wards here, I think.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, you're gonna have ward on ward action, and then you have even more push coming in from the Maelstrom. I don't know if Liquid can really knock down that wall fast enough. And even if they do get advantage in the game, how do you then push against a newbie when they have a pre-prepared position?
It's difficult. It is really difficult for Liquid's heroes to take a fight into this Newbee lineup, and Newbee know it. So they're just going to go for one tower into the next. This Aegis the Immortal on Venomancer. He could just cross straight down to bottom and take that tower, or you just try to go for high ground.
Yeah, put down a Plague Ward, at least see what's there.
They have an Arcane Rune on the Death Prophet, so
Darkseer just TP'd back in. The Plague Wars don't see in deep enough. They only see Matama, but they don't see Kuro, Mind Control, and GH. So Exorcism is up for the Death Prophet. She has a Yule Step taking a lot of damage, but the Mass Serpent was also down. Matama taking the damage in order to get rid of a couple of them. But Mugi, there's more wards where they came from. That mid tower dropping quickly, 600, 500. Fortification used by Team Liquid, trying to hold them out. Mind Control trying to wrap around through the north, hoping to get into the back lines of Newbee for that wonderful VAC combination. Doesn't happen. In fact, Surges to get back inside the base and keep the defense going. The tier 3 tower at 283, but it looks like enough. Newbee are happy with the chip damage. They will now disengage.
they can wait another minute and have Exorcism again, but then they won't have their Aegis anymore. So we'll see what Newbee's play call is. I think it's a difficult one to make without the Aegis the second time. This time that was not too difficult for them to realize that was definitely favoring them.
It's the items you're looking for. So Aegis times out. The pipe is actually flying out the courier right now to KP, so they'll have that extra control. The Rod of Atos has also arrived for SCCC. They've got a lot of immunity on him. Yule Scepter, Hood of Defiance, and now Rod of Atos. That's 1640 worth of HP that somehow they need to find the damage on Liquid to get through. You're still working on Diffusal Blade for Miracle. That's not there, and life gets even harder. A full Radiance is done, well, at least for the Necro, so I say harder for Newbee in the team fight to get every single hit.
Kaka?
Yeah, middle of nowhere.
No.
And Scythe. Executed.
He didn't know GH was there. He blinked into the side, and then GH saw him just like, wait, what? Cast a couple spells, got the kill from Matumba. Nice little Reaper kill, so 1 minute out of play.
I think GH stole Inflame's luck for finding everyone in the tree line.
I think Inflame had vision. That's like that's a bit of a different story when you're playing heroes like Puck and Bat Rider. You can at least see things. And I think Liquid are doing a good job in this
Miracle, in his vision of this, he's starting his spin. He won't have time. He can't TP out now. The Stampede, they're trying to close the distance so the Hex from Faith can come out. The Plague Ward gonna block the retreat of the Juggernaut. He doesn't know it. That's why the movement path send him back towards the south. KP comes in to lend the extra stun, and Juggernaut will fall on the top lane. I don't know if Liquid can really get a rebuttal. They're pushing in the mid lane, so at least they get momentum.
Pretty rare mistake from Miracle. He seems to always have these TP things under control when he's playing Juggernaut, but that time he didn't have it in his inventory. Uses the spins like, wait, I don't have a TP. Has to run to the side shop, just gets caught and killed. And a big kill at that. Well, it probably enables Newbee to, if not take this top tower, then at least force rotation and deal with their problems bottom when the Sand King was dead for a minute.
The top tier 2 tower has 451 HP. Like, that's that's not worth the defense. And there's a siege catapult coming in as well. All they can look
Oh,
for
wow.
is raise. Oh, wait, what?
Okay,
That's, you know, what was it? We were casting, okay, bottom lane. We might go back to that moment on top lane. The Gale out from Moogie. Nova being committed. GA starting his TP. Yorset will end up canceling that one. Necro wants to run away. The Lich ulti gonna bounce perfectly. GH has the stun. Moogie's BKB will also be expended to hold that lane. Was it LFY we were talking about, who were just so efficient with their usage of abilities? You never committed more than you had to. That was a heavy commitment from Newbee to put down the Mass Serpent wards.
yeah, I didn't really like their positioning very much on that play. They Yule up the Shaker and then they meleeed him so he could stun them, and that set up for the Chain Frost. They also used the Silence way too early on the Death Prophet, so a little bit of a misplay, forcing them to use the BKB of that Veno. TP was obviously completely fine with that Hood, taking very minimal damage from the Lich ulti.
But this is what Newbee kind of need to tease out at the moment. You're 2 games down. They happen in a really dominant fashion. So we didn't really touch on it much. The fact that Newbee have to pick themselves up from such defeat during the biggest match of their lives. It's the TI Grand Final.
I like the way Fly talked about it just logically, you know? It's like, you need to win 3 games. You can win the first 3 games, you can win the last 3 games. It doesn't matter if you win 3 games. And if they need to lose 2 games to figure out what it is Liquid are so good at and how they need to draft against them, then those are losses you're willing to take. And I think those first 2 games for Newbee were really drafting experience. I don't think they misplayed horribly. I don't think they were like, oh, our coordination is so bad. They needed to learn how to play Dota against this Liquid team. And if this game is any indication, this is definitely the best chance they've had so far at taking a game off them. They stole the Venomancer, they banned out the Nature's Prophet. They are the ones playing the high tempo push style with these heroes that can knock down objectives, and Liquid are more on the back foot in this game.
That they are. But they need to get into the front lines. Their 4-man smoke will try and do this. Same time, Newbee will look to do the same kind of thing, but you didn't have the mana on Faith. So he's grouping up with the rest of Newbee around Roshan, which is up. So if you do lose the tier 2 tower, no one's defending this. They'll even burn Exorcism of SCCC to ensure this Roshan goes down very, very quickly. But yeah, as you mentioned, Faith, he went back to regenerate as well as pick up the Aghanim Scepter. Liquid, they are coming. But do they get here quick enough? The Plague Wards are down. Karka staying outside the pit. They know that Liquid will have to come from the south. The Hex is out already. Miracle spinning inside the pit. Roshan's down low. The back wall is nice. The Mass Serpent Wards are down too, but the Echo's left. And Lich ulti, it's here. 3 down for Newbee. They need to be able to survive the BKB to allow Moogie to survive with Miracle. Killing off Roshan, taking the agency more. The Mass Serpent Wards are doing diddly squat at the moment. Even the scythe, heavy damage into Moogie. On the retreat, the Burrow Strike not hitting the money. Karka has to retreat back out again. The Plague War's making it difficult for Liquid just to get out of this scot-free, but now the Fuse blade out from Miracle, catching up Moogie, ending the dominating streak, and the big advantage that Newbee had just disappeared.
It's a beautiful combo here from between the Darkseer and the Earthshaker. So look at how GH backs off to the bottom right. Mind Control runs and gets the 2-man back wall, and Shaker Fissure into Blink Echo here. And Kaka can't really get in from the right-hand side. He was getting his Blink cancelled by the Radiance of Matumba Man you see walking in. So this whole team fight for Newbee just didn't work out. I think the problem for them is that they didn't have the right heroes in the right position to break the smoke. Shadow Shaman was in an awkward spot.
Oh, that is not a good facial expression.
KP was not ready. They needed to have a better spread around the pit with Centaur to the, I think, to the bottom and the Sand King to the top right, so that the 2 assault angles from Liquid would get countered by heroes with blinks. And instead Liquid just got an opening and got it, just ran in for it. Nobody stopped the Darkseer.
That prepared position I was talking about doesn't exist when the Venomancer is still down or having to buy back when the push arrives. Miracle with the Aegis Immortal does the first bit of damage to the Newbee base, beating into the tier 3 tower. KP is watching him, and they're looking. They get the Hex over on GH, but his Faith gets caught out, trying to look for his own Hex. Quick man to style out. KP looking for the hot stop, and GH's Fissure right on the money. Karka coming in, looking for any kind of stuns that make it so Liquid have overcommitted. Rod of Vatos onto the Necrophos. You've lost your Shadow Shaman, but Venomancer back to the world of living. Nova's available too. Miracle, you can bleed him out, but remember, he's still got the secondary life. The Burrow Strike, they're just trying to chip away at him. That tier 3 tower, it's going, it's going, it's gone. Miracle will grab it. The spin, he wants to back out now with no magic community. It's too risky to stick around, but they got what they wanted. Tier 3 tower down. The shrines are now opened up, unless Liquid. Do they want to? You have Blink Echo Slam. They could just reinsert. And that is exactly what they're looking for.
Newbee don't have information, so they're going to take it easy. Got the ward down.
Oh, get away from there, KP. Mind control. He doesn't have vision on the high ground. It was just a fact. They lost their ward, tried to back it down.
Yeah, they saw the vacuum with their plague wards. They got vision. Liquid are going to back out. So we were talking tradition earlier, or at least the panel were, that this is the year that, you know, China won the last year. It generally alternates. That's one of the things we always have. We've never had a repeat champion in Newbee, but if Liquid win this game, we will have one tradition broken. There's never been a 3-0 in the finals. It's always been 3-1 or 3-2, and Liquid right now could make a little bit of extra history, if you will, by being the first team to get that clean sweep. It's actually a bit crazy when you think about it. It's been 6 previous TIs and never a clean sweep 3-0. You would think it would happen once. This could very well be the year. With that last team fight from Liquid, they put themselves in a very good position.
And even the TI4 finals went 3-1, and that's saying a bit.
There was 3-1 at every TI except TI3.
Yeah, when it went to the full 5.
That was the only 5 game set we've had, I think.
Alliance is the only time we actually went to 5 at TI.
Yeah.
And it took until Kiev for a repeat at a Valve event at the Major for us also to go to 5, which was the VP OG match.
Has there even been a 3-0 in a Major final? There might have been once. Not sure about that, though.
We can leave that to the boys who love to post up stats. For now, Team Liquid, all they want to do is be crowned champions. And they are working their way towards it. The top 2 networks now belong to the Juggernaut as well as the Necrolite. And Newbee, it's a huge ask. They have to defend, and they know they've lost control of this game. The gold graph has swung by about 10,000 in favor of Team Liquid, not to mention the experience graph racking up about 12k to 13k movement. This is a hard ask, but at least Newbee have Plague Wards up from Mugi this time around. They'll have the defense.
Is that a full butterfly? Oh my, he has a full butterfly and Jugger coming in. That's like the perfect timing for this push as well. He has another 40 seconds on the Aegis, so he's just gonna run in and start hitting.
The perfect timing, but watch that Aegis the Immortal. If we hit 33-30, you'll know the Aegis will be timing out pretty shortly, but Miracle making the most of that 30 seconds, feeding into the tower. KP with the Hoof Stomp. They have an extra silence. Juggernaut can't do damage. The fortification's doing its work, not to mention Spirit Siphon. Karka, Burrow Strike, can they wait that a little bit longer for another 20 seconds so that Aegis is properly gone? But Team Liquid, once again, they go up, they take the tower, and they're looking to come back in once more. Watch that Aegis of the Immortal. They jump in, the Horse Stomp from KP, catching 2. Aegis still there for the fang. Epicenter is doing its work. The Juggernaut, he's dying. The Aegis Immortal in time, down a fraction of a second before. Miracle's gone. The Scythe will get a revenge. KP will fall. Kuro tries to end the trees, but the exorcism from SCC, they're having the damage output to do it. 3 heroes gone from Team Liquid. I want a counter on that Aegis. It had to be half of a second in the timing of the expiration date. And then food poisoning for Liquid. What? Don't eat off food, bro.
All right, well,
Karka.
I was wondering when Liquid went for this play to push bottom, if they could have just taken mid-racks, you know? I was thinking, okay, here comes the butterfly. Well, let's have a look at this.
Yeah, here's the fight. So KP gets the double stun. Karka brings in a huge amount of damage, but it's SCC that could just stand in the middle of the fight, and there's that timing, the Juggernaut.
It must have been within a second. We saw him have it, then the click was over on the Necro, and he died with the Aegis.
You heard the sound go off at the same time as the Juggernaut died.
Yeah.
That's what made it so damn close.
That's timing.
Yep.
Timing for you.
I'm wondering if Newbee had the counter in their mind. If they did, that was pinpoint accuracy, and Miracle could scratch his head and go, you know what, why me? Why me? But this is what Newbee needed. They can turn the graph around, the experience kicks back up. That was a very good fight for them. The gold doesn't swing anywhere near as much.
It's not
but
updated
they hold
yet.
their high ground and they keep Liquid out.
Yeah, and Veno is going to close in on level 25, which could make their base defense a lot easier. Probably going to get that triple Plague Ward HP damage talent.
That's what everyone does.
Make it a lot harder for Liquid to siege high ground. Now, the one thing going for Liquid still, even though that fight went wrong, they obviously took the 2 tier 3 so they can get maybe the secondary shrine and set up for Roshan at some point soon. They will want that next Aegis before they go high ground. And I think with this first Aegis, they should have probably taken the mid-racks. I'm pretty sure Newbee could not have contested that. You get the wave bottom to reach the tower, so backdoor is off, and then you go mid. But Liquid tried to maybe get a little bit too much in that one play.
They tried to win TI in one play.
It's still not a disaster for them. Like, they're still in a good position in this game. We're making it sound like Newbee are fully just full on back in the game. I still think Newbee have backs against the wall. You know, map control wise, it's looking tricky for them. And Liquid still have that incredible team fight combination that we've just seen win games time and time again.
Push is coming in on bottom lane.
Something's exciting. I know.
We're looking at heroes picking up items. That's what it's about. What you want to look at is Newbee in just a second. They're grouping up, ready for a smoke gank. They have a fresh gem of True Sight given over to Kaka. Also want to point out the fact that Kaka spent as much money as he possibly can. He's still 900 short of the Aghanim Scepter, so you can look towards the buybacks of Newbee. And currently, only the Death Prophet has buyback available. But Liquid, they want to fight. They're 5-man smoked up, moving towards Newbee. But Newbee are home. They are definitely lights on.
This is still going to allow Liquid to get wards out if they have any. They do have 2 wards on Kuro. So if this smoke, quote-unquote, fails, they get map control ready for Roche. And this is a good smoke. Like, sometimes you don't find kills, but if you get the map control, more than good enough. Oh.
GH, he doesn't know.
Close call.
To be honest, I thought GH was able to smell out the Armadillo that was running right behind KP, but now it's Newbee, who will group up themselves. They'll sentry ward down. They see the fact there's an observer and sentry on the hill, so SCC will break his own smoke. And Liquid, a 5-on-5 fight looks to be what's brewing on the top lane. They have their own defensive observer ward where the shrine used to be. SCC's the man on the front lines, but it's KP with fresh Solar Crest and Pipe of Insight. He's gonna need to trigger these off perfectly in order to find the opening. Kaka, yeah, that ain't real, man. No matter how much it is being microed, this is not something, at least there's no Chronosphere to commit. Never forget. Let's roar a ball.
So, 1 minute for Roche. And Liquid are sitting on this high ground. They're probably not going to move, because why would they? They could just stay in this area. Never mind, they're going to move.
Newbee's trying to make the most out of it. The Observer Ward saw the Courier still floating around inside the Dire jungle. So Kaka can go to bottom, get some momentum, get some farm, and he needs that Aghanim Scepter up.
So I think, so what Liquid are thinking here is, we have good vision up here. I thought they were going to stay in this area, but they want to push one more wave out mid and check the Roche. In many situations, you would see that the team with the high ground vision stay there with like 4 heroes and send 1 hero scouting into that Roche pit. But it was simply this mid wave that they wanted to take care of. Now that that's done, they're starting to get back into position.
Yule stepped up. They'll drop it back down again. Out of the Yule snap, the hit. Kaka connects on his stun. Follow from KP, but mind control drags them back in unwillingly into the fight. KP, he's got no way out. No stampede available. 2 heroes lost from Newbee. Liquid have opened the window.
This is, at the very minimum, buyback forced. Maybe they will even get the tier 3.
They don't have those upgraded wards yet from Newbee, so the defense is nowhere near as strong. Yeah, the buyback from SCCC is used. There is no buybacks available from Newbee. So even contesting around Roshan's a dangerous thing. If that fight goes haywire, Team Liquid will be crowned champions.
Yeah, they're going to push out mid. Same logic again, sending in Miracle here. They have a couple of Radiant solutions with 15 seconds on them, so they're going to shove out this wave and go into this Roche pit that they are 100% sure has spawned, because I think we were close to maximum spawn timer. They will, however, hesitate a little bit, showing a lot of respect to Newbee, who would be 4-on-5 without their Centaur and even a Shrine to TP on. But
and they don't have Stampede for 15 seconds, but it's a bait. Like, the scanner's come in from Radiant, now it hasn't flagged red. But Liquid have gone back to just keep farming up in the jungle. Are they waiting for a critical item? There is something coming on the Courier. It's the full BKB from Miracle. That's what's coming. That's what's going to give Liquid the surprise advantage in the next team fight.
They're going to send in a Jugger into the pit. These Plague Wards are still not tripled. So close to 25 for Mugi, but might come in just a little bit too late.
Someone give this man some space. He needs it. Even Shaman was coming to help and just push out the wave. But you are right, without those upgraded Plague Wards, without Liquid having to fight through basically attack towers, they are still the superior ones coming into the team fight at the moment. SCCC does have a little bit more life to work with. Now he's got that plus 10 armor from the plate mail. So trying to at least survive the damage. Miracle, the fact he's also got that diffuser blade now upgraded to his 2nd level. So much to work with. Buyback is available for the Venomancer and Centaur, plus the ES and the Necro, so both sides having 2 buybacks for this fight. But while Mugi litters the field with Plague Wards, And he has the upgrade now, so he has the plus, the 3 times Plague Ward HP and damage available.
Liquid will get the information they're waiting for. Their bottom wave is pushing so hard that Newbee have to send a hero back to defend. It's going to be the Centaur, and I think this will make Liquid move up. See Matumaman immediately moving into the river, starting to try to deal with Plague Wards. Yeah, that's great fun.
Yeah, this isn't going to
Not
happen.
really managing that.
Boogie can just camp the mid lane. He leaves a couple of Plague Wards in the mid, but that's why GH looks for his opportunity. Coming under the cover of Shadowblade, ventures across the river, getting his feet wet.
Can't really see an opening there.
Yep.
They just want some... see, that is the problem that Liquid's lineup has, right? They don't have that vision. They don't have any way of scouting except planting wards, so they can't really set up their amazing team fight unless they know exactly where the enemy team is.
So do
that's
we
what
just
was
end up in
presented.
is it a never-ending standoff because of this?
I think Liquid can once again just try to push out bottom and force a reaction, or they can roll. Close call, but Kaka gets out. So Liquid can try to force in bottom. Since there's no tier 3 tower, these barracks have to be defended, but currently the momentum is going the way of Newbee.
He's got that Gem of True Sight. They're trying to get rid of the Observer Ward they saw on the other side of the hill, so the Plague Ward does it in 2 shots. And Team Liquid, this is not something they want to lose, so they're going to 4-man smoke up. Miracle just used his spin. This feels so much like bait. Moogie feels it too. Scaling into Miracle. They're not committing too heavily in with the Venomance. Remember, he has that BKB. So reaction target was all about Miracle. The Burrow Strike from Kaka. It'll connect, follow up Fidget, but KP, he'll get the sun up the massive force in the middle of the field. Darts here, coded up. Miracle, the Echo Slam there from GH on the Omni side. And damage output too big with the side. SCC is gone for 2 minutes. The Lich Chain Frost bouncing back down. Kaka trying to hide himself, but right now it's all Liquid. They have taken down 4. You'll get the buyback from the Venomance and GH with the force up. He won't even die for this. Liquid lose nothing, but take everything from Newbee.
That was so close. Miracle with 5% HP got off that Omni Slash, and it turned the entire fight. GH waited as long as he could on that bait to come in with the Echo Slam that broke the shackles and let Miracle get his spell off. And Liquid, man, that looked so scary. It really looked like Miracle would die. And if he falls there, it's a different story. I don't even think he had buyback on the Juggernaut at that moment, but got a lot of gold from the fight. They'll take the road, and they're gonna more than likely just head down mid. They have 10 seconds on healing ward, so Miracle will be up to full again.
And they could just do the same as previous, put Miracle on the front lines. Let's have a look at that moment once more. So
he
Miracle,
wants this DD.
he does.
Instant stun, blink away, connect again. Now they're going to shackle in a moment. So here are the shackles. Miracle's dropping so low. There's the Echo Manta. Oh, Omni. Just barely getting bailed out by GH.
And with that double damage upgrade, it's too much. And here comes Liquid into the melee racks on mid. Still no death profit for 40 seconds. Liquid doing severe damage to the Newbee home. They'll rotate towards the bottom. The tier 3 towers, that was mere prep work for Liquid. Now they follow through. A nice Burrow Strike onto 2. They need more Plague Wars, they need more defense, but Miracle doesn't give 2 hoots. Just keeps beating through the buildings. Fortifications there to protect the range racks and buy time for Death Prophet to come back alive again. When she's up, she still won't have Exorcism. It'll be on cooldown for another 38 seconds. Miracle, a quick push back. That's the Hurricane Pike going to work. Matumberman sticking with it. Team Liquid, they're going to make the play for Megas. Death Prophet, 5 seconds until she's up. The Hawkstorm plus the Gale into the Necro. Massive Force, they've got really good range with that Aghanim's upgrade, so they can defend inside the base. Liquid can also wait this out. The Shackles, it holds Miracle. They just keep chaining him across the universe. They hold him. Kaka wants to come out for more, but be careful. GH has Blink Echo Slam up and running.
Healing ward in the back. Liquid are so close. Just one more good fight. They know there can't be buybacks on Newbee's lineup. They must have done so much economical damage that any big kill...
They see everything. Here comes the Echo Slam. Is it going to be enough or not yet? The Fissure is out. Necro control. It's a nice oldie from Moogie. Maybe the regeneration's enough. Miracle. The Agency model will pop Faith. Able to shackle him forever. Holding him. Up they come once more. No Hex, no instant stun available. Omni Slash on top of Moogie. The Shrines are doing enough, but it is all the Miracle Show. Double kill for him. Diffuse the blade and CCC. While Centaur controlling the back lines. The Exorcism, it needs to do some damage, but right now Newbee dropping life flies and GG. It's done. Liquid will be the first team in the history of the International to whitewash the Grand Final. 3-0 victory over Newbee.
They have been absolutely fantastic over the last few days. Liquid, they were so close to elimination like 2 or 3 times in a row. And every single time they overcame that. Today they just looked like just flat out the best team in the world. This series, it's not only a 3-0, those pretty convincing wins for the most part. Just the clearly better team. Big congratulations.
You thought the run could have been over. They were knocked down in the quarterfinals by Invictus Gaming. They did the hard road all the way through the lower bracket. They fought all the way up into the grand final, taking out in the lower bracket final LFY at the start of today. A team which everyone thought their play in the group stage was beyond contest. They kept fighting, then up against Newbee. A 3-0 victory, styled from all round. Team Liquid, we thought they could claim the Aegis of the champions, and they're about to do exactly that. Your champions of the International 2017 is Team Liquid.
Liquid are no longer doing it. Liquid have done it. Your 2017 international champions are Team Liquid. Kuroki, I'm gonna find you. Congratulations. Kuroki, every TI, every international, 7 of them. This one is yours. How does it feel?
Feels good. I'm planning to come here again next year and stay here again.
Defend your title.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot to process. I'm going to let you do just that. Matu, how heavy is that Aegis?
Yeah, you know, it actually feels pretty good. I'm totally speechless. Wow.
Hey, GH. It wasn't that long ago you were running around on pub servers. Your first TI, and you lift the trophy. Make it up for GH. How does it feel, dude? How does it feel? You are a TI champion. You are one of the best 5 players to play Dota 2 at this moment.
Well, let me tell you something. The feeling is surreal. I just couldn't accept it at first. I still can't. I can't accept it right now. I need some time.
Why don't we remind them, guys? Team Liquid, 2017 international champions. You guys are gonna go and party. You have got the best night ahead of you. You've had the best day. I'll let the audience say the rest. It's never been done before. 3-0. 3-0 grand finals. Team Liquid, your champions. One more time, raise the roof of the Key Arena. Team Liquid.
Team Liquid had an unbelievable path to the finals, beating Secret, Empire, Virtus.pro, LGD, LFY, and now in the finals 3-0 against Newbee. Just remarkable.
Amazing run, really.
Unstoppable. Best team in the world.
It's crazy to think that going into the finals, they came from lowers, and yet they so clearly were the dominant team in drafting and execution. When they were behind, they were able to pull back. When they had a good opening, they were able to close it out.
Their run this year kind of reminded me of their run this tournament. They struggled a lot at TI6, and they were pretty good before that. They were at the bottom. They didn't even qualify for the next major, and slowly and steadily they've been building back up, and finally this is their pinnacle. This is what Kuro's been putting tens of thousands of hours into.
Gosh, 7 TIs of waiting, and finally, the Aegis. I mean, what a turnaround in the middle of that game, that fight. I mean, if Miracle was just a little bit lower on health.
That's DD Rune as well, like he was shooting in the center, I think, like killing him with 2 crits, and he's like super fast as well to use his diffuser blade when the opponents use the Yules.
Even if they didn't win that game, they would have won the next one. Liquid is by far the best team here, and KuroKy is such an impressive captain. All these new guys, very, very young. GH's first TI ever. First place. It's I can't even imagine what those guys are feeling.
It's just incredible to think how versatile their hero lineup was. You could see in every single game how much practice was there. GH, he hasn't lost a game with Earthshaker in ages, as far as it feels. And I mean, we didn't even see his Wisp today. Who do you ban against them? It doesn't matter. Team Liquid always seem to have an answer, except for how to open this champagne bottle. That's going to be a real challenge.
This is going to be fun to see.
Champagne bottles are always a tricky thing in esports.
Why don't they just give him, like, you know, sparkling water, something with a screw-off cap? Let's see if Team Liquid can be the first team in all of esports to successfully open the champagne. He can't open it.
They can win 3-0 in the grand finals, but they can't open a champagne bottle. There we go.
He just holds it as it spills onto his hand. Yeah, right from the bottle. There it is.
I mean, you do. I'm not gonna do this. I can't do it. You should do it. MC.
Is it good, MC? No. Can you twist this for me? Yeah, exactly like that.
Well, as the players have demonstrated, they're the best Dota team in the world. But you know, it's you gotta understand those caps on those champagne bottles. I mean, how could they have prepared for this?
It's tough.
I know. I know. You know, PPD. I know you've won a TI. Talk to me about the technique of opening the champagne.
You don't need to open your own champagne anymore. You can afford someone else to do it for you.
Why do you have 2 bottles?
Because you're gonna get drunk tonight.
Yeah, KuroKy's gonna celebrate, man.
No, I'm fine.
As they should. It's been a long year. Hasn't been easy. Liquid has not been the best team all year. They just happen to be the best team at this tournament.
How long does it take to set in?
This way. So open a hole, please.
I mean, I don't know. This moment will change their lives forever, and they'll never forget it. So,
I think a day, like, until you actually like understand what you have done and that you actually won TI and can start to comprehend what actually happened.
Yeah, I mean, your body, your mind has been completely focused, programmed. They're like, oh God, not more champagne. Yeah, no. Look, we're not going to give you any prize money unless you can each open a champagne bottle successfully.
Pretty sure they're going to play Dota tomorrow.
Yeah.
As is everybody else here.
Yeah, I mean, one of the greatest treats about the end of TI is that you get to go home and play Dota. It is like the most exciting moment because you have all the ideas, all the strategies in your head. You saw the pros do them.
Yep. TI may have come to an end, but tomorrow is the start of the new season.
Oof.
It's going to be a big one for Dota this year. I'm very optimistic about what's the future for Dota holds.
Gosh, Team Liquid as an organization has so many championships. Now they get to also say they have a Dota 2 TI win under their belts. Just incredible.
They picked a good captain.
Yeah.
KuroKy, you know, he's been here for 7 years. He's yet to take home the Aegis. He's finally got a roster that he believes in. His team believes in him. And they managed to make it work.
And again, there's no TI winner twice, right?
Yep, no TI winner twice.
Yeah.
So
next year, PPD?
KuroKy is cursed. I don't think next year's going to be his year, right?
Next year.
Next year for you? You're coming
you?
back?
For both of you.
For both of us, huh? Yeah, we should make a team, us four.
Oh,
Day9, you
sure.
could captain with all of your
Oh, yeah. All right.
your little Dota anecdotes.
First pick, Viper.
Hey.
Second pick, Jungle Bloodseeker. I'm out.
You're the boss, man.
I'm out.
Out.
Dude, it's hard to even think of a weak link in the lineup. Every single player on Team Liquid stepped up throughout the entire event.
I mean, they actually managed to play so well in the third game as well. I actually thought that they were gonna crumble a bit, like as we were talking about before, that they actually feel that they can almost reach the victory. Like it's so close, and then you make mistakes, but they played super well still, and that's very impressive.
It's a great feeling when you're so far ahead and you're just destroying your enemy's buildings as they desperately try to hang on. They knew they won TI well before the other team said GG.
Yeah, I mean, those fights by Roshan were so huge. That fight right in mid lane before they pulled back and got the other Aegis. I mean, just such patience from Team Liquid. I mean, Kevin, I got to hear your thoughts on that. An incredible series, a remarkable victory by Team Liquid.
Yeah, I really liked how hard-fought Game 3 was. Liquid was definitely on the back foot most of the time, and it made it really hard to win the fight. Just a really... All right, that's all from me. But that was all I can contribute. Preparing
Way to end strong.
No problem.
Today.
Well, hey, the teams are getting out of the elevator with Casey right now. I want to hear from them. Casey, over to you.
We are just about to have them coming out of the elevator now. The doors are about to open. And when they do, we don't know how slow this elevator is, but we're going to find out. What's going to be really cool is there are fans already lining up on the red carpet outside. So this will be really their first chance to be up close and personal with their fans, to thank them in person. And we're wondering how much it's all really been sinking in. Here they are. Coming out, coming out. All right, guys. How's it going?
The sun is nice.
Look at all your fans.
Yeah.
What do you want to say to all of them right now?
Oh, just a sec. Oh, all right.
We're going to kill you first, and then we'll...
Thank you for the support. I appreciate you coming here and stuff. Yeah. No, that's.
Oh, you were telling him what to say, but actually that was
what to say. No, fine.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to all the fans and the family, friends who believed in us. Of course, we appreciate it. I just want to say that thanks for believing in us throughout all this journey. We had some rough patches, but we're here now, so I'm pretty happy about it.
And now you're very deserving of the red carpet, so I'm going to let you come out this way. I'm going to follow you because I should never walk in front of champions. No, but after you, sir. Okay, he's insisting that at least I'm behind Kuro. That makes me feel a little bit better. All right, guys, here you go. You're TI champions, guys, right here. Come on, give them some love. Here they are. What are you thinking right now? I mean, has it all had a chance to sink in now that you're seeing all this?
I'm not. I just can't realize that we won the final.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And by the way, in a good fashion. What about you? Is it sinking in?
Slowly, but you know, being number one feels goddamn great.
Do you want to talk to some of your fans over here?
This guy looks nice.
Can you please hold it?
Yeah. On my hand.
Did you say hold my hand or on?
On my hand.
Okay, good.
Dude, this guy.
This guy.
He's the man.
Right?
Oh my God. TI winner. $10 million. Holy hell.
Hold it yourself.
US dollars.
Catch up with your. I'm slowing you down. All right, here we go. We're running. How do you even have the energy now, man?
I mean, it was a quick one.
Did you expect it to be that quick?
No, I thought Newbee is actually gonna give us a lot more effort beating them, but I don't know. It's just I'm so focused in Dota that I don't know what to say. I just focus on the games, and now it feels kind of empty inside actually, because like the games ended and like I have no purpose anymore.
What's next, right?
Yeah, I mean, what's next? It's like I was so happy playing these games, but like, now there's like. I don't know.
Well, now you have to defend your title.
I mean, next year, yeah, but in the moment, I feel empty hands. What can I say?
I know. Well, you guys have earned this. I hope you guys get a chance to let it sink in. Take a look. Look at all these fans. Get in there with your teammates.
Hey, can I also get a selfie? Oh, okay, thank you. Hey guys, get a selfie. Thank you. 3, 2, 1. You're the champion. You're the best.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much. You've been playing really well.
Pleasure. All case in there.
Hey, yeah. Thank you.
They're being surrounded by fans. They deserve it. They're finally getting exactly what they came here for. I can't even imagine. You guys, we got to get you into your limo. Yeah, I got to tell you, there are a lot of vehicles out here. Let's see if we can find you your limo. You guys, can we get one more round of applause for your TI champs? What's next? What are you going to do tonight to celebrate?
I don't know. We're very tired. Long day.
I told you I'd give you enough time to prep for the last series.
Yeah, thank you.
As you left, I thought if they lose, it's going to be on me.
We had enough time. I think they gave us some more time, so that was nice.
Congratulations to all of you guys. Your
Thank you
TI
very much.
champs. Congratulations, you guys. They have to go